Greetings, YouTube community. So this is my introduction to the VC, if you will, or the metal YouTube community. I'll give you a little info about myself. So I am on the cusp of turning 50. My name is Bill. I live in the Salt Lake area, and I've lived here for about 16, 17 years now. So I've been watching YouTube videos probably for about a decade, actually, like metal YouTube videos. So I think the first metal YouTube video I ever saw was Count Blaggeroth's whole Blake Crush video. And at the time, I was sort of just befuddled as to why people would watch videos of somebody talking about records in their collection. But the funny thing is that even though I was confused, I kind of just kept watching videos. And soon, the people that I watched at first were probably all the usual suspects. Count Blaggeroth, Wyatt X Him. They were mostly guys that were a lot younger than me, guys that were like in their early to mid 20s, maybe, more like early 20s. Canyon Bickle, of course, all those guys. But I still found it cool and exciting and interesting to see like what records they bought or whatever their takes on different things, and compare and contrast my taste with theirs, all that good stuff. um and then I think when I really started to kind of get interest is when I saw older guys doing it, guys who were closer to my age. Like one of the first big ones that I'm still a huge viewer, Ground Zero Salem, Pat, big enjoyer of the channel. Eric Bauer, Marty, of course, all those guys, like those were when I saw dudes that were like also in their 40s, Mike Seatown, guys that were a little bit older that had, significant collections talking about stuff. That's kind of when I think I got more tuned in to the whole YouTube video thing. So that's kind of where my interest lies. I'm not even in my record room. This is just upstairs in the living room. I got dogs sitting around over here. Other things about me. So I've been vocalist in a lot of bands throughout the years. Currently, I'm the vocalist for this band, Uncross. Let's put it over here so I'm not blocking my face. This is our 2022 demo, physical copies, but we are up on Bandcamp there. Uncross at Bandcamp. That got released April of this past year. 3 songs. I joined the band at the end. It was like it was like August of 2021. They had been going for a few years under a different name with a different a vocalist and bassist that, and it just wasn't working out. They weren't really making progress. She wasn't really writing lyrics at all. So Dave, the guitarist, I'd been friends with him for years. We'd kind of done some stuff in the past, but after I'd gotten married and had kids and he was going back to school, we kind of just, got separated and stuff. And, I kind of didn't think I was ever really going to do vocals again. I actually started learning to play guitar, and I've been playing guitar for about 5 years too. Though I haven't actually recorded anything with the band there. I'm still pretty insecure about my guitar playing, but anyway, yeah, so that's been another big thing, too, is like being in the band. Like I said, I'm married, got a couple of kids, and, I guess the question is, and I asked myself this, why would I want to do a YouTube channel at my age? And I think just like anybody else, I love to talk about music. I've got a vast collection, and, there's a couple friends I have that I talk with about music, but I could talk about music all day. All fucking day, endless stuff, whether it be metal stuff or punk and hardcore stuff or like electronic stuff, classic rock, old blues, whatever, all that shit, goth stuff, synth pop, all shit that I like, I mean, yeah, metal is my bread and butter, and same thing with punk and hardcore, those are the 2 genres I listen to the most, but that's all the stuff I love. A couple other things. I was going to bring up stuff that I've been listening to recently here within the last day or so. Just a quick rundown here. I was listening to this today. Lord Belial, Nocturnal Beast. Yeah, the Nocturnal Beast album from 2008, I believe. So this, I am a relative newcomer to Lord Belial. I had heard the name for probably close to 20 years before I actually picked up. This is not the first album I picked up, and this album's okay. Not my favorite, but I picked up their first album, Kiss the Goat, in 2020 on CD. It was a like Floga reissue, and I actually really liked it a lot. Really good second wave black metal, pretty aggressive but memorable riffs. So I bought that and was really pleasantly surprised. I was like, damn, this is actually a really good record. So I went and tracked down, obviously, Floga's reissued those first few records. I'm going to set this down because it's just a little weird, and I'll come back to it. But anyway, Lord Belial. So, yeah, started, got Kiss the Goat, got Enter the Moonlight Gate, really liked that a lot. Then picked up Angel Grinder, that's on CD as well. Don't like that one as much, but it's still good. It's more of a Black Death hybrid, and then I got Unholy Crusade, the third record, too. Those first three, I think, are great. Just really good, raging, second wave black metal with a lot of melody, kind of like Dissection and Sacramentum and stuff like that, but I'm a little more leaning into the black metal front of things until the aforementioned Angel Grinder. This, as I said, Nocturnal Beast is their sixth record. This comes after Seal of Belial, which I haven't heard. I just got this recently. And it is much slower. It's more mid-tempo black metal. The death metal influence is pretty much gone from Angel Grinder on this, but this sounds like, very much like I said, kind of like Sacramentum, almost mellow death sounding, but everything's mid-paced. Everything's like around that 80 to 100 beat per minute range. Nothing gets really fast. I mean, there's blast beats. The vocals are really harsh and everything, and that's cool. But it's a good record, but I wouldn't I hold it in as high of esteem as the first three. But, if you're into, it's almost like easy listening black metal to an extent, because it's not super aggressive and it's not like super pummeling and it's not hard to keep track of what's going on. You can kind of tune out, and then there's a lot of arpeggiated melodies but again, everything's more mid-paced. Nothing gets really fast or aggressive. So that's one thing also recently. Nocturnal Beast by Lord Belial. And then this was another one last night too. Get the glare out of there, but there we go. Kiss, Creatures of the Night. This was probably much like a lot of people my age. Kiss was really my first love as a band. This was really, I'm going to put this down again. They were really my first love as a band. When I was 5, I saw them probably on TV. They were on cereal boxes, all sorts of stuff. I had the action figures. I had comic books. I had it all. And I loved Kiss. I loved the classic era, from the first album through Creatures of the Night, And then when I got into my adolescent years, I kind of when they took the makeup off, when they started the whole lick it up thing, I tuned out. I was 11. I thought it was lame. I was like, oh, these guys just look like fucking Van Halen or, basically when you look at pictures of them, they were kind of like a cross between Van Halen, like their clothing wise, and like some Sunset Strip hair metal band. And that worked for them in the 80s, but it didn't work for me. I didn't really like any of that shit. I thought it was super lame. Didn't care. But anyway, Creatures of the Night, this album, this is an original press. I bought this. I bought this like in last year from Vinyl Conflict. Plug for Vinyl Conflict. I buy a lot of stuff off them from online. They always have good stuff. They have a lot of good punk and hardcore. But this was an original. It's in great shape. It's got a little saw cut there, but other than that, looks great. Great songs, of course. I mean, it has Saint and Sinner, Rock and Roll Hell, Danger, the song Creatures of the Night. Of course, the single I Love It Loud, War Machine. War Machine's probably the most metal Kiss ever sounded, so that's a great, great fucking song. But yeah, that's just a few little introductory things. Some of this video is kind of just a test to see how this looks and see if anybody gives a shit. So that's, yeah. And if you're interested, again, check out Uncross on Bandcamp. And it's like sludge crust, sludge crust death metal. Biggest influences are like Dystopia, Grief, Obituary, Celtic Frost, Hellhammer, early Celtic Frost. That's, if you listen to it, you're going to hear all that stuff. But we don't sound exactly like any one of those bands, just kind of an amalgamation of all that stuff. So thanks for checking out the video, and the next one, I might do that Metal Tag 2023, maybe. Or if not, it'll just be talking about more stuff in the collection and, shooting the shit with y'all. So thanks for checking me out. Have a good rest of your day.